watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, the third annual Holidays Festival is set for this weekend in beautiful and historic Galena, Illinois. We'll get the details on what to expect there. Plus, a new sensory gym for children with autism and their families. Learn more about the grand opening celebration for Autistic and Loved happening this week. And later, teaching high school girls about potential careers in cardiology. We've got a preview of an annual event giving students a closer look. You're watching Quad Cities Live on this Monday, December 2nd. Thank you so much for joining us after a long weekend. I'm Morgan Otier. Well, this weekend marks the 9th Made Market QC. It's an upscale makers market event featuring more than 150 vendors all in one spot. Joining me with the details is Wendy Alleman and Mindy Matthews. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Yes, excited to talk about everything. Wendy, I guess we can start with you. Tell us a little bit more about kind of the holiday edition of Made Market QC. This is, any Made Market is really just a big deal.
Yeah. The Christmas one is extra special.
Yeah.
I think there's over 150. It looked like more like 160 vendors that are going to be there. And I'll be there with my little log cabin trailer, and I have blown glass, so the ornaments on the tree.
Yeah.
I do jewelry, so I do necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and then I do tiny little snowmen flowers that are plant sticks, and I just started for this Christmas season doing tiny little snow globes, which is kind of a fun new.
They're beautiful, and I was going to ask you to tell us a little bit more about your small business, what it's called, when you started, working with glass.
So 20 years ago, I taught myself from a book. And it was before YouTube was a thing. You couldn't find anything online. And I really, really, really wanted to do it. So I bought a beginner kit and I just started exploring with possibilities. And my progress was so slow and so painful. But
that's okay.
Every single glass piece was so cool. I just loved it.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with the process. And 3 years ago, I quit my corporate job. And I have been doing this full time, and I'm just having the time of my life. So
that's the dream.
I am. My business is Windblown Beads, and it is in Oquawka, Illinois, which is about an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh,
from
we know here in the news business where Oquawka is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You have beautiful work, as do you, Mindy.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your business, High Strung by 3M.
Yes, so I actually started 8 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
I had surgery on my right arm, and they recommended that I do knitting as therapy, and I had never knit before, so I asked if I could make string art instead, and they, of course, didn't know what that was.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been doing it ever since. I just finished my 13,000th piece last week, and that includes both the ones I make and the do-it-yourself kits that I offer.
Do-it-yourself kits. That's awesome. So not only did you really teach yourself how to become a pro with this, but you're kind of helping others do the same thing.
Yes, and I love, I do the kits as well as I teach at almost every Quad City library and some of the outlying ones as well. So that helps me be able to spread the art to other people.
That's amazing. I'm so happy both of you are here today because also I feel like it shows the uniqueness of items that you can find at specifically this event. I think, a lot of times our creativity isn't even there and we just kind of think, oh, let me just go to the store that I always go to and buy the gifts that I would typically always buy, especially if it's like a gift exchange or something like that. Well, no, you can actually pick up something that is totally unique and special and made by somebody that lives right here in the QCA. So that's great. Yeah. So I'm assuming you both have been part of events like this before. So Mindy, what other types of items are people going to be able to find if they show up this weekend?
So Made Market is really a special one for me. It's actually one of my favorite markets. Not only is it going to be an arts and crafts show, if you will, but it's more like a party. Yeah. There's photo ops, there's visits from Mrs. and Mr. Claus, if you will. Yeah. There's going to be live music. And then in addition to handcrafted artisans and crafters, there will also be all kinds of yummy treats, jewelry, anything you can think of,
Yeah.
I've bought there. And then they have these, what I call bougie boutiques, where you can picture probably what I'm saying, but where there's a trailer set up, you can go inside, you can shop home decor, you can shop clothes, you can get handcrafted hats made for yourself, and it's just truly a party.
It is, yeah, Wendy. It's kind of like a mark your calendar, like destination event. You know, it's held, I believe, a couple of times, a few times a year. A Maid Market is, but the holiday one, as you mentioned, it's just very special because it's a time when we're all thinking about getting that, you know, special something for that special someone. So it's really great. And Mindy, you mentioned live music, so people can get a bite to eat there and all of that. So there's just a ton going on.
That is a lot of fun.
Yeah, wonderful.
And well done. I mean, they do a great job of sourcing unique things that are really exquisite. I mean, they just really picked the
best of the best.
Yeah, it is just so much fun to see. I always see something new.
Yeah,
and I do a lot of shows, but I always see something that I've never seen before, and that's fun and exciting, and yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, there is an admission fee. It's $7, but actually part of the proceeds are donated. So there's
and children get in free as well. So that helps too if you're coming with children. Although I recommend you do. Well, if you really want to get some shopping and fun.
You know what though? With that said, don't they have child makers?
They do. That is a very good point. I forgot to mention that. That's one of my favorite parts of this show, and I always encourage people. In fact, I always offer people a buy one get one $5 off with a coupon that they can spend at a kid vendor's booth, and so that way I'll pay the kid vendor if they buy something there.
That is amazing. So. Yeah, that is a really special part of this event every year. Kids that are making bracelets, they're painting paintings. There's roughly, I would say, 20 of them, more than a dozen kids makers that are going to be there selling their items as well. So it's just a really cool opportunity to support the dream of, you know, somebody who's already starting out. Right. In this. Very cool. Okay, well, the holiday edition of Maid Market QC is at the Bend Expo in East Moline, a really big space. It's Friday, December 6th from 5 to 8, Saturday, December 7th from 9 to 3. Admission, as we mentioned, is $7 at the door. You can also pay online ahead of time. For more information, though, about the vendors, there are many. Just follow along on Facebook. Wendy and Mindy, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy I didn't break one of these. I'm awfully close to the breakables right now. I appreciate it. Still to come on QCL, another opportunity to shop small ahead of Christmas. We'll get a preview of this weekend's 3rd annual Holidays Festival in Galena.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The annual Galena Holidays Festival is set for this Saturday, December 7th, celebrating the art, businesses, and activities that make Galena such a special place to visit, especially during the Christmas season. Joining me with more information is festival organizer Christine Melas. Christine, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This looks beautiful. I'm so excited to get into this. This is a relatively new event for Galena. So where did you come up with the idea to start this tradition?
Well, we were just talking about kids. This happened in my brain in December 2020 when there wasn't a lot going on. I was watching too many Hallmark movies, and I was actually reading a book called In a Holidays at Home, and I went to my dad, who is the festival organizer for Galena Country Fair, and I said, hey, we always say Galena's a Hallmark town.
It is.
Let's put on a Christmas festival. And that's how it originally got started.
That's how it got started. I want to talk a little bit more too about the mission behind it, because beyond just putting on this very Hallmark Main Street type of beautiful holiday festival, you guys are also working to help organizations there in the Galena area.
Absolutely. So when we came up with it, we knew that our mission had to support the arts. The Galena ARC is an organization that is near and dear to our hearts. It's where we went through sports and art programs and all of that through. And so with it being a craft fair and having local and traveling artisans come, we wanted to support the Galena ARC, and they give back to so many youth and adults throughout the art communities with what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I was reading a little bit about it. I feel like unless you're, you know, kind of from up that way, you may not know a lot about it, but they offer all kinds of classes.
So much,
a lot for youth, but a lot for adults as well.
Yeah.
And what I found really cool about it is no one's going to be turned away if they can't afford to take take a class there, and that's kind of where this all comes in.
Yeah, Liz Larson, who you will meet when you go into our reindeer games in our heated tent that you see in the picture there. She's incredible. She spends countless hours, I don't know how she does it, coming up with, like you said, it's not just the youth programs, which many are free, or if there is a registration fee, it barely covers the cost. But it is also, she does cooking classes and pottery and all sorts of things. We've done many date nights there. So it's definitely something worth traveling, even just an hour and a half from the Quad Cities.
Absolutely, very cool. Okay, so let's talk about the day itself, the Holidays Festival. What can families expect to see when they show up?
So this year it's a little bit bigger and a little bit better, as I hope for it to be every year. We have over 14 artisan craft vendors in our custom built booths by the Joe Davies Carroll CT Academy again this year. Iceless ice skating rink. We have our petting zoo back. This year we have a s'mores station. People can purchase s'mores kits, and you'll be able to stay warm by some solo stoves. We have awesome raffle prizes this year, just a couple, and these showcasing some of our amazing vendors as well.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these. So I already commented before we started our segment on how beautiful this basket is.
Yes.
Amazing. So somebody put this together for the event?
Yes, they did. A local landscaping company did this for us. Yeah, I know.
That is very impressive. Very cool. Yeah, there's like gingerbread houses and things like that. Just a really cool, like, cozy basket. And that kind of brings me as well to talk a little bit about what you do. Of course, we want to showcase everybody here today, but Christine, you actually do something really cool with baskets as well.
I do. Yep, my business is Basket Case Galena.
I love the name.
Well, again, kids and running around like a basket case.
Right.
You understand that. So yeah, I put together gift baskets using only small business products as well.
I love that. And that's kind of what's so important about an event like this. So let's talk about some of the other items that you brought here today, because this festival really does highlight small business makers, artisans.
So this charcuterie board here, this is beautiful. This was made by Carl Dressler. He and his wife Susie Dressler run the Galena Farmers Market. This was made, I have a cheat sheet here, by 150-year-old white oak trees. And they're also made from Galena Cellars wine barrels, which is our local winery, one of our local wineries.
That is awesome.
These are apparel by AMB Ambition. They're a local company in Galena, and they will have apparel available for sale. See, I'm wearing mine. You can also go on our website and order it now too.
That's very cute. Absolutely. And then, okay, all I want to do is like
it's so soft.
Hop on the couch.
And hopefully it's not as cold that you don't need to wrap up in this on Saturday. I love what the weather forecast is currently, but striking chunky blankets. Jill Woobin makes these, and you have your own KWQC snowman now too.
That is my absolute favorite thing. I mean, yeah. So they created that.
They created that. Yeah, this is. It's all handmade. But we have a variety of items. Handmade jewelry, candles.
Anything you could think of.
Anything, baked goods to bring home, freeze for the holidays.
I mean, Galena is a special place as it is already. Visiting those businesses is the absolute best part of walking around Galena and learning more about it. But yeah, this is, if you even needed an extra incentive, this is going to be a really, really fun event. So it is the Galena Holidays Festival. It is this Saturday, December 7th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. But it culminates in the spectacular Fire in the Sky fireworks show, so be sure to stick around for that. And you can find the festival at Green Street Plaza, Commerce Street, and City Hall. I mean, you go to downtown Galena, you'll run into it for sure. Admission is free, and we didn't talk a lot about that. That's incredible. Admission is free for this event, but of course a suggested donation of $5 per family, which, as we talked about, goes to an amazing cause.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here
Thank
today,
you for having
Christine.
me.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
And still to come on QCL, an opportunity this week to celebrate 2 local initiatives, Our Grows House Gift Shop and Cafe, as well as the new Autistic and Loved Sensory Gym. We'll learn more next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
There is a double launch party happening this Wednesday, December 4th, celebrating the growing initiatives of 2 important local organizations. Here to tell us more is the founder of Our Grows House and Autistic and Love, Dr. Kit Ford. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, you're excited. I'm excited. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel still a lot of work to do, but I feel a sense of relief.
Yeah.
We were blessed with a special donation that allowed us to purchase a strip mall in Davenport, 3811 Harrison Street, and so we have worked to transform the space into a communal space for women survivors of violence, the community to be able to come grab a cup of coffee, but then also our other nonprofit, Autistic in Love, has created the first open play handmade sensory gym in the Quad Cities region. So it's a big deal, and we're really grateful and excited.
It is. It's a very big deal. So let's start with the Argros House Cafe and Gift Shop. Give us a little background on Argros House, just briefly, for folks that may not know what they're going to be supporting when they use the space.
Absolutely. So so Argos House, we've been in it. It's our 7th year now. We have 2 homes where women heal from women who are healing from violence are able to live rent-free for up to a year as we help them get on their feet. And then we have a bath and body business that employs them. Now we have a cafe. We're going into the food business, humble beginnings. We just got our food license.
I love that.
We were able to flip an old bar and turn it into a beautiful communal space where you can come get a good cup of coffee, sit down with your computer. But the unique thing about the space is that our women will be serving the coffee, making the coffee. We have food, and then also one kitchen is for bath and body, the other kitchen is for food.
Okay.
So you'll be able to interact and watch women make bath and body products as well.
Wow.
And if you choose, you can choose to learn how to make a product as well.
Yeah, that is really special. It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
And so that'll be, an exciting launch party happening there.
Absolutely.
And Argos House, really, you've served I'm over the last 7 years?
7 years.
7 years, hundreds of women or children.
We have, and now the unique thing about what we're working to do, we're situated in an area now that's only a mile away from Family Resources Shelter, 180, Kina's House of Love. So we're intentionally working to partner more with our allies in the community so that we could serve even more. So that's our idea. In the evening, sometimes we have support groups. One unique thing about this space as well, a few weeks ago, with the help of D Films, we put together a documentary that highlighted all of the social enterprises in the region.
Yeah.
So that documentary will be on replay in this cafe as well.
During the grand opening.
Well, all time.
All the time.
Yeah, so we have images of 180, Tapestry Farms, Neff's Cafe, and others to educate about social enterprise. We serve marginalized populations, but we also have businesses. So we're wanting this to be an interactional, kind of touristy, educational resource area that also brings in customers so that we can employ more women.
Absolutely. It's great. It's a great plan.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. The Autistic and Loved Sensory Gym launch party is also happening this Wednesday. I have seen so much buzz about this. For months.
Pressure. Yeah.
For months, actually. People have been so excited that this is coming to the community. So talk about the Sensory Gym itself as we look at these photos.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so both of my beautiful children have autism, and so this was really started as a way to honor them, but also to fill a need, especially for my son who has level 3 autism, and beautiful. Both of my children are beautiful and brilliant, but there's certain things that they need that the community may not have had. And so one of those things that we saw a need for was a safe place where he could grow up, he could live his best life, climbing a rock climbing wall or jumping on a trampoline, while also having a birthday party or relaxing, or, a place where he didn't have to make excuses to just be himself.
Yeah.
And so, this place, we also want it to be a place where we can have support groups for autism families, trainings, workshops, but really it's just a safe place for our babies to be able to grow and never be ashamed of who they are, because they are brilliant in their own unique way, regardless of if they are labeled as autistic or neurodiverse or not.
Yeah, and it's just, it's amazing that you have accomplished this, because there are so many families that are rejoicing, that have been waiting for this. I know we have a lot of amazing organizations that try and make space for sensory equipment and things like that, and that's amazing. But just
they're doing a great job.
And they are, but just to have this, specifically designated is incredible. So yes, that's amazing. Yeah. And you're going to be renting that space as well. well. I was reading, so for any counselors or therapists or any...
Well, we're still, so we have, the space is unique. We have this beautiful custom handmade sensory gym. We have a greenhouse. We have a sensory chill spa, we call it.
Very nice.
That has like fiber optics and a motion bubbler. It's super cool. Adults go in there and they do not want to leave.
Right.
But then we have this really large space that we call it the sensory party room, where people are able to have parties and things. But there's stations connected to different types of sensory needs for children. So long term, so we will be renting the space out to families for celebrations and other things. But long term, we do want to rent out that space specifically in the gym, maybe throughout the week for a therapist to be able to use that space as a resource as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to grab your mic for you, because one thing that I really did want to touch on, especially as we prepare for these grand openings that are going to be taking place, you do grab bags often.
Yeah.
And so we have our choice of purchasing 2 grab bags from Our Gross House, but there's also one for Autistic and Loved. So talk a little bit about what's inside those.
Yeah, so we have a couple grab bags that are $25 or less. The Argos House grab bag, you can check out argoshouse.org. It has our special handmade peppermint lotion.
Beautiful stuff.
Soap, bath bombs, lip balm, perfect, and it's bagged beautifully for Christmas. So you can go on our website. And then for Autistic and Love, we have some really, we've partnered with a company who have a weighted stuffed animal that really helps with sensory unique needs. And then we have a pop tube, and then I invented a line of chewable jewelry for children who may need to chew, or adults who may need to chew. So in that grab bag, you're saving, it's only 25 bucks, you're saving about 15 bucks.
Amazing.
You can just stop by the shop or go on autisticandlove.org. Now we started as a LLC, but because of the need, now we're a foundation.
Wow.
And so we're a 501c3, and so a portion of that profit goes back. And then also one thing that we're wanting to do is offer scholarships for the open play facility. And so we haven't asked anyone in the community yet for donations or resources, but that's something that we are going to be more intentional about.
Absolutely,
so that we can, so that cost will never be a barrier. It's $15 for open play, but we want to make sure that every child is able to benefit from this service in the community.
Amazing. Okay. Well, the grand openings are taking place simultaneously this Wednesday, December 4th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you have all day. We have the address on your screen, 3811 Harrison Street in Davenport. They are next to each other. If you want to learn more about each organization, you can also visit them on the web at ourgrosshouse.org and autisticloved.org. Dr. Kit Ford, you continue to amaze. Thank you so much for being here today. Yes,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you for
exciting.
your support.
Of course. Much more to come in our next half hour of Quad Cities Live, including an opportunity for high school girls to learn about future careers in cardiology, and later Illuminate by Crossroads. We'll take a closer look at this nightly Holiday Lights drive-through experience and the mission behind it. But first, we woke up to snow on the ground and somewhat slick conditions for the morning commute. So what can we expect for the rest of the week? Teresa Bryant has your full forecast next.
And now your first alert forecast with Teresa Bryant.
What was all that white stuff falling from the sky? That was snow, folks, and actually snow that accumulated across some parts of our viewing area. We saw about 1.3 inches of snow in New London, a little less than an inch of snow around Biggsville, Moline, Dubuque, Davenport, all the way down south into the Burlington area. Again, enough to coat some of the roads, and at least right now we are seeing some roads across the QCA that are partially covered in snow. Most roads in very good driving condition, but again, go a little slow as it is a little slick out there from time to time. Now, we are still seeing some cloud cover across parts of our viewing area, a little bit of that breaking up off to the west, and pretty soon we expect to see clearing sky conditions across our viewing area into this evening and through the overnight hours. As we head into Tuesday, a few clouds out there, but otherwise mostly clear skies, a lot of sunshine expected, and a bit more warmth as well as temperatures rise into the 30s. degrees for some locations. We will continue to see some mild conditions through the middle of the week. Wait until you see these temperatures. Right now in the Quad Cities, we've got a reading of 22 degrees with cloudy skies overhead, 22 in Dubuque, 24 in Galena, a temperature of 21 degrees in Savannah and Kewaunee, 23 in Muscatine and Keokuk, 24 degrees in Macomb. Winds still pretty brisk, moving out of the northwest at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. And those feels like temperatures still on the chilly side for some, dropping down into the single digits. Feels like 8 above in Davenport and Clinton. Feels like 10 degrees in Moline. So yeah, a pretty chilly start to the day, and it stayed that way through this afternoon. We'll see temperatures taking a little bit of a tumble again tonight. Lows down to 15 degrees with clearing skies. And after that, looking forward to some sunshine for tomorrow, your Tuesday, with a temperature of 28 degrees in Stockton, 31 in DeWitt, a reading of 32 degrees in Muscatine, 33 in Monmouth, and the Quad Cities looking for a reading of 32 degrees. Again, mostly sunny and a bit milder, and temperatures are expected to remain on the warm side through Wednesday. Look at this. Readings actually reaching into the 40s, although we are expecting some blustery winds during the day. And then a frontal system moving through our area, ushering in some colder air. Look at those lows after that high of 42. 11 degrees, that's as good as it's going to get. And then we're back into the 20s to near 30 degrees through the end of the week. 30s and 40s expected through the weekend. So those roller coaster temperatures, those yo-yo readings, yeah, they're not going anywhere. Yeah, they're going to continue for a little while longer.
It's nice to see the 40s back in the forecast for sure. I will say it was not nice to see the snow when I looked out the window this morning.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were surprised.
It was for Darby. She loved it.
But we did explain that there was going to be some light snow shower activity taking place overnight into this morning. So I think folks thought that was...
They could wish it away.
Yeah, that it was just going to be a few flurries. No problem. Yeah.
Nope, it showed up for sure. Well, it is time now for our wins of the weekend, and mine is that my mom actually just left town yesterday after spending more than a week with me, and while she was there, she helped me decorate. We holidayed my house.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I still have to do the little like tchotchke decorations with Darby, you know, like the you know, the meaningful, but other than that, the entire house is, I would say, living room, kitchen. We are Christmased for like it's done.
Yeah, you are.
And she like completely helped me out with that. Like I basically sat on the couch while she.
Oh wow! So she just
she
took
loves
over.
It, and she loves it. Yeah, she took over.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
and that's our elf on the shelf. That's.
Did Darby take you know, any initiative here? Did she do any decorating?
She does. She likes to put certain things in certain places, but it's mostly the ornaments that she likes to put on the tree. So you'll kind of have that, right? She's 6, where like you have 10 ornaments that are all in one spot. Yeah. But it is what it is, right?
Well, you know, she's got a vision for these things, so you know,
you just got to go with it. What about you?
My win is a long distance win. Okay. Let's put it this way. I have a little nephew dog named Leo. Aww. This is my sister's dog, Leo. He's a Heinz 57 variety dog, you know. And he has been unwell over the past couple of weeks, not feeling up to par. Well, he got a clean bill of health from the vet.
Yay.
And he is back home and snuggling with my sister.
Oh my goodness.
And she sends me pictures all the time. So, and I didn't have time to send a picture.
No, but there are little babies. Well, maybe you can post one on your Facebook page or something.
I think I will do that. Yeah, so Leo is doing just fine, still very spoiled.
Oh, of course.
Just getting his way in all things.
Our puppy children.
Getting all kinds of treats and that sort of thing.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, me
Amazing.
too.
Okay, so wins of the weekend, and coming up, introducing young women to the possibility of a career in cardiology. We'll tell you about a unique opportunity for high school girls to ask questions and learn more.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
With college on the horizon, high school is oftentimes when young people start figuring out what they want to do for their careers. And our next guest is so passionate about her career in cardiovascular medicine that she is encouraging young women to consider it as well. Dr. Rafat Padaria is inviting area high school girls to an event next week geared specifically toward their futures. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for the opportunity, Morgan. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk to you about this. So you've been doing this event for, you said, 3 years.
This is the third occasion. 2019 we started, and then with COVID, everything went downhill.
Everything's on a hiatus. Why did you want to start doing this?
So when I started here, I've been here 22 years, in 2003 as a cardiologist, and I had my entire team. You can't practice on your own. You have a whole team that practices with you. I had my medical assistants, I have nuclear techs, I have vascular techs, I have echo technicians, and they're all such bright girls, amazing. And they're all from Iowa, and I would ask them about what they want to do and how did they get into it. And a lot of them come from communities where they were the first people going to college, or first people out of high school. And I thought, let's do something where I can introduce what we do in cardiology to high schoolers. There really is nothing that we do in the community to expose them. Like if you have business, they have job fairs.
Right.
We don't do anything in medicine.
You're right.
And how are we supposed to know that these jobs exist? How are these girls supposed to know? And nurses, nurse practitioners, there's so many opportunities. So the first year I came up with it, I called up the superintendent of one of the school districts, UT, good friend of mine, and he helped me with it. And I called up all the principals. I didn't know counselors was the way to go.
Right.
I haven't grown up here, so I don't know how the schools work.
Yeah.
And but we got 80 girls to come.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. So it was very, very good.
That is great. So describe your career now and kind of the journey that it took you to get to where you are, to find a career that you are so passionate about, because this is really a foot in the door, I think, by having this event. And probably a lot different from what you probably experienced.
Yeah, exactly right. So actually your question is wonderful, because you need to know the opportunities there, right? So the first and foremost, the girls that I have come for this are the ones who are interested in science. You have to have some interest in science. And secondly, then if you want to aspire, you just do very well in school, come and shadow us, come and see what we do, and then decide. For me, I come from a cardiologist family. I'm fourth in line, cardiologist. So by the time I was doing cardiology, it was like, yeah, whatever. But my father, my brother, my sister, they were my mentors and people I looked up to. So if you don't have anybody as a mentor at home, then what do you do? Is my question. So come and see what we do. We have, everybody is around, and then we also have Scott Community College will have a booth. We'll have, Ambrose has their own booth because they have classes for these young girls where they can learn nursing, they can learn vascular schools, they have community college classes. So lots of opportunities.
Absolutely, and this is kind of a space where these young women can ask questions.
Absolutely.
And get questions answered.
Yes.
I think a lot of times once you get into the college level, university level, you get a little bit afraid. Like you kind of feel like you already need to know what you're supposed to be doing. There isn't, like you said, necessarily a mentor there. I mean, it's got to start now. If you want, potentially a career similar to yours, there are things that you can be doing right now to ensure that happens. It's the same with journalism. I mean, if I didn't have anybody that told me you need to do A, B, and C if you ever want to get your foot in the door at a local TV station. So this is a really amazing opportunity for girls in our area.
It is, and that's why I wanted to be here, and thank you for having me, because any media we can use, and we use Facebook as well, any media to get this word out there. There are young girls who probably don't even know this opportunity exists, and we have Mary Johnson and Erica Ewart. They really, kudos to them. The former Mary Johnson is the career counselor for PV.
Okay.
She's the one who encouraged me to do this third time around. She's like, please, my girls have been asking when can they join and when can they do this, because they've heard it's so popular and we can come and shadow everybody. So that's the reason I did it. And the girls who can apply for this and come for this, it's completely free. It's only for the young girls. And like you said, they come, they ask us questions, whatever they like, we introduce them to, and then they can come shadow us. So there's continuity. It's not just come and see and then we leave you alone. We actually help you through the process of how you can do this. Yes, come and shadow us. And they can register. I'm sure you have that on the site.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to get that on our website as well. I just wanted to point out one other cool thing is that it is just the girls.
Yes.
It's not parents. It's not families. There's not going to be somebody kind of pushing you.
No.
You know, it's just for them. It's for them to feel comfortable.
Thank you for bringing that up because I wanted to keep it only for these young ladies. No parent is allowed. You can drop them off. But I want them to feel open. Come ask us questions, and you just see them. They just blossom when they are there, and they meet each other, and they sound off each other. What are you looking at? Are you looking at the echo? Are you looking at vascular? I've got even a cardiothoracic surgeon is coming from Genesis. It's a female.
Very exciting.
So I just spoke with her. She's coming. I have 2 perfusionists coming from Genesis. They work in the operating room.
Wonderful.
So anybody which is part of the cardiology team. My cardiology team is nurse practitioners who I love. Me as a cardiologist. I'll see if my other colleague will come in. We used to have an EP cardiologist. She's not here anymore. But anybody,
great.
and then our nuclear, echo, vascular techs, all of them are females.
Everyone that you want to hear from. Well, here's the information for everybody.
Thank you.
The Introduction to Women in Cardiology event is next Tuesday, December 10th, inside the Rogalski Center at St. Ambrose University. It runs from 5:30 to 7 p.m. You do have until tomorrow to sign up, and we are posting a link on our website, kwqc.com/Quad Cities Live. Dr. Padaria, thank you so much for being here and for all your work.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you so much.
Coming up on QCL Muscatine is merry and bright with the start of Illuminate, an annual drive-through light display becoming a tradition for QCA families. We'll learn more about it next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
One of the best holiday traditions involves simply driving around to look at the lights. In Muscatine, you can see some of the brightest and most festive with the annual Illuminate display. It is a nightly drive-through event hosted by Crossroads, a nonprofit that serves seniors and people with disabilities. Megan Francis and Mark Hines from Crossroads are here to share more about this really cool display. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So Mark, let's start with Crossroads. Will you tell us a little bit more about the organization and the services that you provide?
Absolutely. So we are a disability and senior services provider. So our mission is cultivating choice and inclusion for seniors and people with disabilities. So what we do on a day-to-day basis can be pretty varied, whether that's Meals on Wheels delivery for our seniors. Today we were probably doing some snow removal, and then 24-hour residential care for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay, wonderful. So this event, Illuminate, Megan, has become kind of a little bit of a beloved annual tradition for lots of families. So talk about where it takes place, where you guys have it all set up, and what we're going to see when we show up.
Yeah, we are in year 2. We kicked off on Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
So it's fun to be back. I never thought I'd have so much fun in a park in the cold. But we are in historic Weed Park in Muscatine, and it is a beautiful landscape. We have over 40 displays, professional light displays.
Wow.
That go from the top of the entrance all the way down to our newly finished lagoon. And it's, just gorgeous displays. They are all sponsored by local businesses, and we're open for drive-through every night from 5:30 to 8:30.
That is wonderful. So, so this is your second year doing this. So, what kind of feedback did you get after last year from people that experienced this?
I don't think people knew what to expect when they first came up. So there were a lot of people who just came to see what was going on, and then just the feedback was fantastic.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think I've heard all year long. Are you getting ready for lights again? When are the lights coming out? So
very cool. Oh, we see Santa in that photo right there. So kind of take us a little bit through the process in case a lot of people watching have never done this before. We are not getting out of the car. It is fully a drive-through situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
No exiting, stopping or exiting the vehicle.
Okay.
So you drive in on the entrance to Weed Park. We suggest the Colorado entrance, which is off University in Muscatine, and there will be volunteers there to take donations. It's a suggested $10 donation, which goes directly to our services. There are also volunteers that will help direct traffic, and You can go as slow as you like and really take in all of the displays. There's a fantastic lighted tunnel that changes as you drive under it. And
that's very cool.
So take your time, enjoy it. There's Christmas music to listen to as you go through, and really all of it goes to support.
Wonderful idea. Yeah, Mark, talk a little bit about what this support really means. You know, I feel like you're somebody who sees day to day the folks that are, you know, in need of the help, the services that Crossroads provides, and so this is really a way for the community to give and pour into that.
It is. So generally our services are funded through Medicaid, but you know, Medicaid doesn't always cover everything that we need. It takes a literal act of Congress in many cases for us to get an increase. And so this is a way for us to supplement some of that, making sure that we have everything we need to provide the care that our folks deserve, whether that's, you know, kind of embracing technological supports, whether that's, you know, updating our vehicle fleet. We, you know, got a brand new wheelchair van, and those things are expensive, and this helps us weather some of those costs so that we can keep doing what we say we're here to do.
Wonderful. Well, there's the info for everybody. You can check out the Illuminate display at Muscatine's Weed Park from now until New Year's Eve, so you still have plenty of time. It runs from 5:30 to 8:30 every night. Again, there is a suggested donation of $10 per car benefiting Crossroads, and it's wonderful services. Mark and Megan, thanks for coming on the show today and sharing those photos with us and telling us all about it. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for watching QCL. Your local news at 4 is up next.